We've got an email question. Let's go to that real quick. Let's see here. I'm going to read it out here. I am about to sit down and settle my auto accident claim with the insurance company. Who goes first? Do I tell them how much I want first, or does the insurance company tell me what they will pay first? And that is Kara. And Kara, we don't know which state you're in, but you know, kind of negotiating with insurance companies, who goes first and what goes first. And you know, Kara, it's not any different than when we're dealing in our own practice. You know, so Brian, how do you like to proceed with dealing with insurance companies and making an offer or making a demand to an insurance company to try and get resolution?
Well, I'm assuming this is an injury-related question. If it's your property damage, that's a lot different. Let's say you're.
Well, let's talk about property damage because we don't know. Let's just say it was a property damage case.
If it's property damage, whatever it costs to get your car repaired, that's how much you should be entitled to, plus the reimbursement for your rental, plus the reimbursement for your storage if you had it towed. And then most people don't even pursue this, but if you have a relatively new vehicle, there is a diminished value claim. Because if you go to buy a vehicle and there's a ding on it from Carfax,
yeah. Not Carfax, Carfax. The fox is the little puppet or the thing or the cartoon that they use, but it's Carfax. Yes.
He is a phenomenal mascot, but
yes.
the fox, he is great. But no, you have a ding on it. So if I go to buy a 2020 Honda Civic that was previously in a car accident, then it obviously is worth less because it has prior history of being in an accident.
Right, and so that might be $500, it might be $300, it might be a couple $1,000s. It depends on the value of the car and the type of car being involved with. So, Kara, so the very first thing is you got to determine what's the value of what you're asking for.
Exactly. So when she says who goes first on a property damage claim, I'm not saying it's easier, but I think it is. You can calculate the numbers. You can go to whoever sold you the vehicle. They'll tell you how much it is worth as compared to not being in an accident. You know your rental, you know how much it costs to repair it, and so you can submit all of that, and that's your number. That is a lot easier than dealing with somebody who has had a neck surgery or a back surgery.
Right.
So
Kara, we don't know, and so we didn't know that about you, so we don't know if it's an injury case. Now we're going to transition into if it's an injury case. Brian, what are some of the things that you look at to make the determination? Now, you and I know that there's literally hundreds of different variables to go into putting evaluation on a case, but what are some of the big things that people can kind of look at and kind of gauge by?
Well, on every case, we obviously look at our client's medical treatment, so their medical records, their outstanding medical bills, how much they have to pay back, and then any residual effects and future medical treatment they need, and you calculate all that up, and there is no magic number for figuring out pain and suffering, but a lot of times we're dealing with insurance limits. We're talking about fighting the insurance company. So sometimes my clients are significantly hurt, but there's only $50,000 in coverage. So at that point, that is our starting point. And a lot of times if they don't accept our demand, we will file a lawsuit. But it really depends. You factor in basically medical treatment bills and future medical treatment, and then everything our clients have went through. So I know I met with a client on Friday. She has a broken pelvis and she has 2 kids. One's 3, one's 8. She cannot take care of her kids. So that is a big part of her claim as she recovers from her broken pelvis, is basically having to pay somebody for child care while she recovers from her broken pelvis. So those are, as you said,
there's hundreds
we
of
look
different...
at everything.